The race to become the city of Atlanta's next mayor is now heading to a runoff. Tuesday's election results still unofficial.
But with all precincts reporting, Councilman Andre Dickens appears to edge out former Mayor Kasim Reed for second place. And that means Dickens would face Council President Felicia Moore in the runoff, and that is on November 30th. Our Joe Henke has a look now at how the race was decided and what it could mean for the runoff. And looking at the maps here, Joe, it's really interesting to see who won what section of the city.
That's right, Sheba. Felicia Moore, Andre Dickens, Kasim Reed, each of them found their own little pockets where they found success across the city of Atlanta. The big question now is whether the majority of Reed's voters will support Dickens or Moore. Leading up to Election Day, several polls pointed to a potential runoff between City Council President Felicia Moore and former Mayor Kasim Reed, and anywhere from 30 to 40% of voters still undecided. Dickens, though, did not trust the polls, believing enough undecided voters actually supported him for him to leapfrog Reed.
We've been watching all these numbers from knocking on the doors to making phone calls. You can actually get a pulse of the public, what they actually are thinking. It didn't seem like the pollsters over the past 3 to 2 months were actually talking to voters that I knew were out there.
The city of Atlanta is primarily in Fulton County, but does extend into DeKalb County. Here's how the race played out county by county. In Fulton, Moore, who is from Northwest Atlanta, found success in North Atlanta. Reed and Dickens, who are both from Southwest Atlanta, claimed the southern part of the city, with Reed grabbing around 1,000 more votes. In DeKalb County, though, Dickens beat Reed by more than 1,600 votes, landing him in the runoff. 11 Alive political analyst Andra Gillespie says it would have been easier to predict a Reed versus Moore matchup, but with Reed on the outside looking in, his supporters could still decide who becomes the next mayor.
Would have been more interesting to see Moore and Reed because there are clear contrasts between the two of them. And in that instance, I would have predicted that the Dickens voters would have defected to Moore. But now that it's Moore and Dickens, who might be perceived as a little closer together, I think it's a question of where the other votes go. So Mayor Reed could actually still be a really influential person in this race. I'll be really interested to see who he endorses.
Moore says focusing on key issues over the next 3 weeks will decide who those voters pick.
Because now that the field is narrower, there can be more focus on some of those details so that people can understand, as I have served this city, when there are issues, I have stepped up to the plate.
And here's the timeline moving forward. Next Monday, election results will be certified and become official. November 30th will be the runoff election, and January 3rd is when Atlanta's next mayor is scheduled to be sworn in. We have full interviews with Moore and Dickens reacting to Tuesday's election on 11alive.com.